incredible college pitcher.
All right. Let me know if you've got questions in the chat. Tom Murphy, lead us off.
Dave, with bringing Welch off the bench in this game, did you just have a sense that maybe a moment like that would come along for him tonight?
Well, I've been kind of just trying to figure out the lineup. You put your hitters in there, and I had Charlie in there yesterday with, it didn't go real well. Slavin's not hitting right now. Franklin's wasn't seeing it very good. And that's the middle of our order. And I just told the coaches this morning that I was going to go with the guys that helped us win some big games as far as the lineup. I brought up the Tennessee game with Gregory hitting in the 9 hole. He got the big hit, at Tennessee. And, just said, I'm going to bring Charlie off the bench. I'm going to have a guy off the bench because I felt like Nebraska was going to just keep matching up after, Povich was out of there, because we knew that he was starting. We knew last night after the game that's who they were going to start. And we figured they were going to let him go until he showed him he couldn't go anymore. And he did a nice job early. I mean, he stuck it to us. But it was hard for me not to put Charlie in there against that left-handed pitcher. But I just felt like we were going to get a shot later in the game if we could keep it close. I mean, our plan was Wiggins to go 3-4, but didn't quite work out. Kevin give us what he's got. Hopefully we could keep it close. We didn't know what the score was going to be, and then we were going to try to finish with a couple of guys. And Wicklander wanted the ball. He told us he wanted the ball, and he was one of them. And, Charlie I came down when they brought the lefty in with the 2-0 count. They turned Casey around to right-handed. I went down the steps and I said, Charlie, if Casey gets on, you're hit. And a couple of pitch later, he was there and he was ready to go, and laid off a bad pitch. And then you saw what he did to that pitch. I mean, he hit it as hard as you can hit it.
Yeah.
And just I felt like he was going to get a chance to pitch hit tonight. Did I know that was going to happen? Obviously not.
And just one more from me. What was Povich doing to keep you guys off stride? And then how big was the Opitz home run to break that spell, and then the Moore home run?
Yeah, really good question. So he was busting our right-handers in, and we knew that. But he was pitching away a little more than we thought he was, and he was spinning the breaking ball, and he was getting ahead of every hitter. I mean, it was like, you feel like if you're hitting and you make the first out on the first pitch, it starts to get frustrating for everybody around. But he was getting ahead of us, 1-0 or 0-1, 0-2, and 1-2, and he had some quick innings. I don't know, and then with Opitz, I mean, obviously Casey has one home run going into the game. We've seen Casey hit a bunch of balls out of here, but I haven't seen him go down and hit a line drive right-handed that hard. I mean, he went down and smoked that ball into the green seats over the bullpen on the line. It lit our dugout up, because all of a sudden, man, we're only down 1 run. And kind of for our dugout, what's new? We're always down 1 run in the middle of the game. And so it was kind of like normal territory. And we felt like the momentum switched over to our dugout a little bit. And Kevin kept throwing up zeros, man. And that's what did it. We knew we were going to break out. And Kevin gave us that opportunity.
Bob?
Dave, nobody's on, 2 outs. Looks like it's going to go the 9th tide. Just what do you think about the way you guys just rallied, the way y'all did in that inning?
I mean, that's the way it happens sometimes. You think, because I've been on the other end of that. You're thinking, man, I got 2 quick outs. I got a hitter down 1-2, and I'm already over there thinking about, how I'm going to score in the 9th inning or whatever the situation is. Next thing you know, Franklin's fouling off pitch after pitch after swinging and missing a lot, being super frustrated. And, he got to 2-2. He fouled one off his foot. And then it went to 3-2. I don't know if he fouled another one off. He ended up taking a walk. Man, it pumped our dugout up. And just that he had a good at bat. I mean, we didn't know we were going to score 4 runs. We were just hoping to score 1, hoping somebody would hit ball in the gap. And then sure enough, I don't know, I guess Robert walked, and then Opitz went 2-0, and then the fireworks started. And it was amazing.
And this is yet another, if you look at playing Nebraska, you took 2 out of 3, so it's like another weekend series win for you. I mean, obviously this is the biggest one of the year. Just what do you think about that? You guys haven't lost a series in 2 years.
It's unbelievable, honestly. And I told the team they were amazing. And, you know, they just keep finding a way and they keep fighting, and we get to hang out at least another week. And we know that we're going to play North Carolina State, and they're probably one of the most offensive teams in the country, and they're hot. And we figured that's who was going to win that regional. We all projected it.
And Kevin, 185 pitch. You know I'm lousy at math, but Andrew helped me with that. So, I mean, what do you think about that?
It's pretty incredible. You know, I did a little research on some of this stuff, and you know, I looked at Florida's reliever in 18, had 37 appearances. I think Kevin has 31 now. Kevin has more innings, but I kind of comparing him to that a little bit. The difference is Kevin's 24. That individual is 21. And, you know, I talked to the coach about it, you know, just making sure we're doing the right thing. And Kevin's like, you're doing the right thing. I'm fine. Give me the ball. He's got great arm action, short, quick, strike throwing machine. And yeah, I don't know. You know, I mean, the kid's a warrior. He wouldn't let us take him out of the game. And yeah, I know that we have the final call there. But man, this is a team. And they want Kevin on the mound. Kevin wants to be on the mound.
I might have a couple more, but I'll turn it back to Kyle. Thanks, Dave.
Let me know if you've got questions in the chat. Nate?
Yeah, Dave, especially after the 3 errors last night, how big was the defense tonight?
I mean, they made all the plays. It was, you know, we got a lot of ground balls, especially when Kevin came in there. I mean, they had a couple fly balls the outfield, and, you know, they hit 2 or 3 balls that were hit pretty good. One of them was right back at Kevin that he fielded like off his glove and maybe his chest. But they made all the plays. You know, Battles had some really nice plays on some slow rollers and choppers, and the grass is kind of wet from the rain today, and it started coming up there. And I just really liked the way the infielders attacked the baseball and really handled it. And obviously, not giving them any extra bats was big in us winning the ball game.
Thank you.
Hutch?
Dave Franklin had the big catch on Friday, and he made another one today right when Cops came in. What did you see on his play to end the third, and what can you say about his defense out there in center?
Yeah. Well, what I see is he's not taking his at-bats to the field, and he's frustrated big time, obviously, but he goes out there and he plays a professional center field and does his job and makes play after play. I mean, he's been as good in center field as anybody we've ever had here. If you look at all the highlight catches, I mean, it's been amazing. He goes back and gets it. He comes and gets it. He goes side to side, and you know, in game 1 he saved at least 2 runs. We'd have been down 5-0 after 3, and he saved that, and we came back and scored a bunch of runs. And tonight, you know, that ball gets down. You never know what's going to happen there. But what a great defender.
And the comparison that I've seen a lot of people making is Charlie Boyce and what he did in 2004 to Kevin Kopps. Do those guys compare at all?
You know, this is the craziest thing. And when Kevin got here, I gave him Charlie Boyce's number. So there's your story. And because Charlie Boyce was very intelligent, right-handed pitcher, and Kevin's the same way. And that's kind of what I do sometimes. And, you know, I didn't know Kevin was going to jump his velocity up in the 90s because he didn't do it really until the last couple of years. But yeah, I've thought about it a lot, and I've thought about this regional a lot, and how I took a little bit of crap for pitching Charlie, but Charlie was in the same mold. He's like, I'd start walking down to talk to him, and he'd point at me and say, I'm not coming out. And it was almost the same feeling, only Kevin's too polite to do that. And he just would tell Coach, I feel great. I'm not coming out. I'm good. And, but yeah, I do. I've thought about that many a time over the last few days.
Let me know if you've got more in the chat.
Dave, I haven't been able to add it up, but I know every year, including this year, a lot of home teams lose their regionals. It's just baseball, like you say, a lot of times. And Nebraska made it tough on you guys. Just how good do you feel? I know a lot of people assume, well, Arkansas is going to win at home, you know.
Yeah.
But you can't assume stuff, obviously. But just how good do you feel to survive? Especially Nebraska seemed like a better seed than should have been sent here. Frankly.
I agree. And when I saw them pop up, I thought, why are they sending the Big Ten champion here? It doesn't make any sense when you look around and you see some other regionals where the Power Five is a number one, and they don't have another Power Five school in the regional, and they might have been a 7 or an 8 seed or 9, whatever. So I know it's a really tough job, and I get that. But Nebraska has a really good team. They played kind of a regional format most of the season, and they've gone on the road, stayed in hotels. They played 2 games a day. They played 2 different teams. And I think that they came in here and they were a little bit comfortable, more comfortable than I wanted them to be, because trust me, I was very much leery of them and what they could do here. And I knew they had good arms. I looked at the numbers. I knew it was going to be hard to get by them. I knew it was going to be hard to get by them on Saturday. And then yesterday, obviously, they did a great job against us. We didn't play very well. And tonight, I knew it was going to be a dogfight, and it was.
And you're down 2-0, and the game's moving on. But what was the mindset like in the dugout?
We were just trying to stay calm because we felt like that we were 1 big inning away, and I think we ended up scoring that run in the 5th, and we knew that's kind of the halfway point or getting close. And Casey led that inning off and he popped that homer. I just feel like that the guys, man, that energy level went up. And I think Nebraska probably thought, wow, here, this is going to be tough to hold this. We've got to score. They've got Kevin Kopps on the mound, and maybe they start pressing at the plate a little bit. I mean, just a lot that works in the mind right there. And, it was huge for us to score in the 5th.
I just got one more. Obviously, you want to win, but I know Will Bolt's one of your guys. Done a hell of a job. Just,
Yep.
I guess, how do you feel for him?
I feel bad, and I say this all the time. I don't get anything out of beating or winning against former coaches that have worked for me or with me, and I don't get anything out of beating a former player. I mean, I feel bad for them. I mean, they had their huddle in right field in our stadium after winning the Big Ten championship, picked like 6th in the league, and they ran away with it because they're better than everybody else and they're tougher than everybody else. And I saw that this weekend, and that's because of the players that are over there, and Will Bolt and his coaching staff have instilled that into those kids. And Nebraska was really good to me, and I loved it up there. And it was hard to come here because of what was going on there, but I knew that this is what I wanted to do. I don't like playing Nebraska. I don't even want to schedule them.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Think about it. If you ever gave me a number, what it would be. I'd like to know.
It would be 00. I can tell you that.
I'll wrap us up. Thanks, Coach.